Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Enterprise Connectivity Forum meeting. My name is Tiago Rodrigues. I'm the CEO of the Wireless Broadband Alliance. Thank you for joining this session. And by the way, we have a very interesting agenda for today. But before we go through the agenda, I would like to spend just a few minutes to introduce you about the Enterprise Connectivity Forum. That is a new initiative within the Wireless Broadband Alliance. So our vision for the Enterprise Connectivity Forum, it's really to empower enterprises through OpenRoaming and through open Wi-Fi. So bring connectivity to all enterprises and help them on their digital transformation. And we believe that Wi-Fi and in particular OpenRoaming can play a super relevant role on that digital transformation. What we would like to develop in this group is really to have an open forum where anyone can join, but in particular, we want to pursue these four objectives. So we want to promote learning, education, awareness of the Wi-Fi in general, and in particular on OpenRoaming. We want to share best practices and success stories. And in fact, today's session is all about that. So we are going to have a couple of presentations about deployments of OpenRoaming. Then number three, do all the understanding, testing, and advocate for OpenRoaming across different enterprises scenarios. And of course, help anyone that is interested on new innovations with pilots, proof of concepts that anyone can really understand the benefits of Wi-Fi and OpenRoaming. The benefits of the Enterprise Connectivity Forum. So it's an open, free community. Anyone can join. If you have any interest for the enterprise Wi-Fi, please be part of this group. This is an excellent opportunity for networking, collaboration between all of us, but as well to present your thought leadership, how your company it's leading on Wi-Fi and driving that digital transformation. And of course, benefit from participating in proof of concepts, technology pilots that we plan to do along the way. So you can participate on those initiatives. I just want to highlight the leadership team, and I want to thank you, my colleagues, Andrea Calcano, CEO and co-founder of Cloud4Wi, and as well Bart Giordano, SVP and GM for Ruckus Networks, and as well President for Networking, Intelligent Cellular and Security at CommScope. We have been working together on this Enterprise Connectivity Forum. As you can imagine, it started as a vision from the three of us, and I'm super proud that we managed to make it a reality. And today we have our first meeting. I will leave a final message. Any of you that are here on today's meeting and you have not yet joined the Enterprise Connectivity Forum, please do. As I mentioned, this is an open community. Anyone can be part of it. Just visit our website, so wballiance.com/ECF, and you have all the information there. You can register on this forum. You will become part of a mailing list, and we are going to distribute along the time multiple informations, case studies, invitations for different meetings. So please be part of ECF, and you can benefit from being on this platform. And with this, I want just to jump into the agenda for today's meeting. So after my short intro, we are going to have the case study from Fira Barcelona. So Carlos Sanchez Baena will share with us how Fira Barcelona is using OpenRoaming and Wi-Fi at their convention center. After Carlos, we have a presentation from OpenRoaming deployment Ahold Delhaize. That is a major supermarket brand in Europe. So Rolf will share with us the deployments and how they have been driving OpenRoaming at their retail shops. Then we'll finish with a roundtable discussion, including myself, Andrea, Bart, Carlos, and Rolf. And this will be an open discussion, so I will invite all of you to be part of this roundtable discussion as well. And with this, I want to hand over to Carlos from Fira Barcelona. So Carlos, welcome. Thank you for being part of the Enterprise Connectivity Forum. And over to you.
Thank you, Thiago. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share what we are doing in Fira with OpenRoaming. So let me know if you can see my presentation. Yes.
Yes,
so
we can see.
Okay. I don't know if everybody knows Fira Barcelona, but obviously it's the home of Mobile World Congress Barcelona, probably the best or the best well-known event that we have here in Barcelona. But as said, we have many more, obviously, and not probably as big as Mobile World Congress, or not as well known. But we've been testing OpenRoaming in the past with also Mobile World Congress, but now we are doing it in internal events. So we will show you what we did last September. It was October in the end. Was our internal event, the most tech internal event that we have, that is called Smart City Expo World Congress. So starting with a small introduction of Fira Barcelona. So we have nowadays we have two venues. This is the old venue. It's placed very close to the city center. It has at least 130,000 square meters and 6 different halls. So you can see here on the right the small floor plan that we have. And this is the second venue where Mobile World Congress and the Smart City Expo World Congress took place. So it's 8 halls and almost double the exhibition surface of Montjuic. So this is Gran Via. It's in Hospitalet del Llobregat. It's very close to the city of Barcelona, and it was our newest and more efficient and modern venue in Barcelona. But not happy with this. We are trying to get another new hall. It's called Hall 0. This is not the current, the final design of the Hall 0. So our venue in Gran Via will be connected to a new hall through this bridge, and we will have like 60,000 more square meters added to the 240,000. So it will become, in terms of exhibition space, the top 5 or top 6 exhibition venue in the world. So it would be one of the largest venues in the world. This is probably will be ready for 2027, beginning of 2027. So we will see it soon, and it will be as obviously the most brand new halls that we have, and the most in terms of connectivity, the most efficient, sustainable, and we are working on have the best technology on this hall as well. So commenting what we have done in with OpenRoaming, as I said, we started with Mobile World Congress. Mobile World Congress has already OpenRoaming through all the halls. We do not promote it very much because GSMA is the owner of the event and they need to approve that. But behind that we are offering the possibility to the ones that have the profile of OpenRoaming in their devices to connect seamlessly. But the idea was to promote as well this kind of connection in our internal events. So what we did is for the Smart Cities Expo Congress in September 2023, we have an app of the event, and we embedded the profile inside the app. So what we did is more or less the look and feel of the app is the one that you can see on your right. And so what we did in the past is to offer free Wi-Fi across the different halls of 3 days of the event that we have as Smart City Expo World Congress. And as we had mandatory to use a QR code through the app, so everyone need to download the application, we thought that it could be a good way to promote open roaming through the app. So in the end, we embedded an SDK in the app, and you have the possibility to accept or deny the terms and conditions to connect seamlessly to the Wi-Fi once you are close to the venue, in the venue or close to the venue. So where we broadcasted the Open Roaming SSID. We will see the success that we had. So in total, we had 21,000 people, 21,500 people that downloaded the app, and 62% of them accepted the terms and conditions. We will explain a bit later of these numbers because they have well, okay, they have something. It is comprehensible if you see that the people that is coming to this event is mostly coming from Spain and from Europe. So probably the interest of connecting to the Wi-Fi is not as high if you come from many other parts of the globe. In total, we had some failures during the installation due to the software version of the Android, and we had also the opportunity, or we offered the possibility to switch off the open roaming in the settings of the app. So in total, we got 52% of people connected seamlessly to the event Wi-Fi. Okay. And as I said, where do the people come from to this event? So 48%, almost 50% of the people were national, were coming from Spain. And on top of that, we had 20% more that came from Europe. Obviously, those Europeans don't have any charge of the roaming. There are no roaming tariffs when they come to Spain. So in the end, 68%, almost 70% of people were happy with probably their LTE roaming, and even though we had a very good response to the open roaming request through the application. So comparing, for instance, 2022, what we did in 2022, that obviously we offer as well a free Wi-Fi through the PSK. So we had username and password with signage in the different parts of the halls where we run the Smart City Expo Congress. So we also did that for those who didn't have open roaming in their laptops or whatever. So we still keep on doing it, the PSK with user and password for the free Wi-Fi network that we offered during the event. But as well, there were the devices that downloaded the app and automatically got connected to the Wi-Fi thanks to open roaming. So what we saw is that we increased 21% of devices that were associated versus 2022 on this first day of event. So for us, it's a very good increasement of connections, and this is something that you can see here more network KPIs that we got from Cisco, from Spaces. So in total, from those 11,000 devices that downloaded the app, we saw almost 9,000 devices connected to the open roaming. The total traffic share with the network, and the average of the duration of the connection. Okay. Then comparing of the people that got connected through OpenRoaming versus the one connected through PSK, we saw that we doubled the number of users that use OpenRoaming, obviously because they had it in their phones, so they connected seamlessly with probably they don't know and they don't know where connected, and they connected seamlessly. So this is pretty good for them in case they need to do any or to use any in the app, any service that we offer in the app. They got already connected. No need to type any password to their device, to their phone or their other iPad. Sorry. So more or less, as you can see here, the graph, we can see that all the days we doubled the number of, with the exception of the third day, we doubled the number of connections that we got from the PSK. Okay. Then what we saw in the analytics of Spaces as well is that obviously 94% of the people got connected through OpenRoaming through the app. But we also had some extra attendees that, thanks to the agreements with the AT&T or T-Mobile, so these 5% were thanks to the operator in the States. Also, 1% of the connections were from Samsung devices, thanks to the Samsung account that they can provide, and also got connected. So we do not put any policy to avoid any other any other profile in our network. So we open all the profiles, so everyone can connect through OpenRoaming if they have any different profiles besides our SDK, and so the numbers are good. In Mobile World Congress, we have many more connections from AT&T and T-Mobile as well, but in this case, probably is a not worldwide event. This is Smart City Expo World Congress. I don't know if you have heard about before, but it's very interesting in terms of obviously technology for cities and how technology can help in developing cities and for the citizens as well. So not only for majors and from governments, but also for citizens. What is the purpose of offering OpenRoaming in the app? Not only because obviously people it's easier for them to connect to the Wi-Fi in the event, so for us it's also a good point. But we also have better KPIs of usage in our network. So we have a small project called the Smart Venue in Fira, where we have a dashboard where we can paint all the devices in our venue. Thanks to that, we can know the exact location with a very high percentage of accuracy, thanks to the Wi-Fi network. And as you can see, Smart City Expo World Congress were in the Hall 1 and also Hall 2 of Gran Via, and also the south entrance, obviously. But Hall 3 and the rest of halls were empty, were not used by Smart Cities. But for us, what it means is a better location analytics, and the more devices connected to the Wi-Fi network, so give us the information, a high accurate information for us, so we can track the devices, where they go, where they spend more time. So all this kind of information for us is really interesting to get. And as you can see here, I don't know, there's a small video of we ran another event on Hall 8 that was not with OpenRoaming, but as you can see here, how we can track everyone, all the devices, not only the ones connected, but also the probing ones that are looking to the network. So we can check where they move, where are the more crowded areas, for instance, and with this information, we can, after the event, we can take some extra decisions. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me check. I'll stop this, and I think I need to, okay. just to summary a little what we got offering OpenRoaming in our first internal event. So we can summary telling that we increase 21% the devices connected to the Wi-Fi. We offer a better connectivity experience to all of our attendees, to those 11,000 people that decided to accept the terms and conditions. So it was easier for them and really fast to get connected to the Wi-Fi. And for us means a better location analytics. So we have more accurate information of the attendees locations. And with that information, we can take decisions after the event and look forward for preparing the next edition of Smart City Expo World Congress as well. So the good thing is nobody complained because my device don't work well, don't connect well. So we are pretty happy that it was our first with our test, let's say, of offering OpenRoaming through the app. So we are pretty happy that nobody complained, and we analyze all those almost those 2,000 users that had issues installing OpenRoaming due to basically the version of the Android that they were using. Obviously, if the devices that are newer and newer, so we reduce this number of issues. So downloading the OpenRoaming and the SDK. So for us was a pretty success in terms of the usage of the network. We plan as well to keep on offering in more of our internal events. So our idea, and the events director of Smart City World Congress was pretty happy of the results, and we will reply this application to, for instance, Alimentaria. This is another event where we will have in April. And the idea is also to replicate the way of connected to the Wi-Fi in the major number of our internal events, starting with Smart City Expo Congress is the most technological. But besides that, we have Alimentaria as well in this April that we will test it for second time, and we will share with you, if you want, the results of this second test as well. So no worries for me. So thank you for hearing me, and if you have any questions or during the roundtable, I can answer whatever you need.
Yeah, fantastic, Carlos. I have a ton of questions, but I'm sure the audience will have as well. Let's. I propose that we move on, and I'd like to invite Rolf from Delhaize to present their case study, and then we can all jump into the panel discussion. So over to you, Rolf.
Yes. Sharing my screen, if all goes well, it should pop up now.
Yes, we can see.
Yes, okay. So I'm actually reusing a presentation which was given at Cisco Live a couple of weeks ago. And by the way, Carlos, in your presentation, when you talked about statistics and identity provider, I saw Delhaize in there as identity provider. So you had a couple of our customers there.
Yeah, sure.
So let's move on. So my background, quick presentation of myself, the company. My background is engineering. I have worked all my life in IT, and I've been with 12 years with Ahold Delhaize. In my current role, I'm head of stores and technology for the BEXI region. BEXI region is Belgium, Central Southern Europe. That's that yellow circle in the middle of the world map. When I joined Ahold Delhaize like 12 years ago, I was really worried if this was a good company or a good environment for me, like an IT, to work in. After all, these guys are selling tomatoes at the low margin. So I was wondering, is there going to be interesting projects for me? Is there gonna be budget for IT? And I quickly learned that the opposite is true. So IT is as critical as the financial sector that I worked in before. Problems today result in empty racks tomorrow. And there's also really cutting edge, and that's the project that I will present now. And by the way, we luckily sell a lot of tomatoes, so we can pay for these solutions in a way. Ahold Delhaize is the holding company. We're present in 10 countries. Overall, we're growing towards 8,000 stores. We're serving 60 million shoppers each week. And we're having like 19 local brands. These are the local brands. So we have Albert Heijn, bol.com in the Netherlands. We've got in the US Food Lion, Giant, Hannaford, for example. But the company I want to talk to you about is Delhaize. Delhaize is the premium grocery retailer in Belgium, over 800 stores. And here's where we implemented OpenRoaming a while ago. I'd like to start by showing you this picture so you really understand the concept. We go from OpenRoaming, we built on OpenRoaming, customer engagement, that is. So imagine you are a customer, you walk into one of our stores, you hopefully have our app installed on your phone. The app will automatically seamlessly connect to the Wi-Fi. That's what the OpenRoaming part does. But then we went a step further and actually we link this in our backend systems where we have your purchasing behavior. Our backend system is Salesforce. And we're able to send you a pop-up, what you see right now, a pop-up on your screen, and it can be just a welcome message. It can be a personal promotion. It can be a purchasing reminder, anything like that. So I need you to understand this is the concept, and then I'll move on and explain really how we got there. So what I prepared for you is the journey, how we went from basic Wi-Fi to OpenRoaming, and actually also the next step. I will use this template to explain our journey. It's also a maturity map showing how I evaluate a Wi-Fi installation. The actual project for enabling OpenRoaming and customer detection and engagement was a two-phased project, which is represented in the third and the fourth block of this picture. But let me walk you through the complete journey and start in the beginning so you really see the entire journey which we had. This is phase one. In our maturity map, it shows how Wi-Fi was initially used, let's say 2014. At that time, Wi-Fi was only available for our stores associates to perform store operations, like, for example, placing orders for goods to be delivered from distribution centers or to link our electronic price labels to the products in the shelves. Customers had no access to our Wi-Fi at that time. So if you as a customer want to call home because, for example, you couldn't read what your wife wrote on the shopping list or what your partner wrote on the shopping list, you would have to rely on public GSM signal. But that public GSM signal doesn't penetrate very deep in our stores because of the concrete walls, metal roofing, metal racks. So basically for a customer, it's very hard to get any type of signal in there. When we moved then to the second maturity level or phase two, we basically opened up our Wi-Fi as a traditional customer hotspot based on a captive portal and a landing page. So to get connected to these first generation hotspots, I'm sure you're all familiar, you have to look yourself on the settings on your phone. Is there a hotspot in range? And when you try to connect, you receive irritating pop-ups. You need to confirm your email or your phone number or even both, and so on. And to make the experience worse, since a couple of years, the mobile phone vendors built in MAC address randomizers to guard your privacy. But as a result, you have to go through this process every couple of weeks or so. The question I was often asked is, yeah, why don't you install a GSM repeater to simply broadcast a public GSM signal? There's many reasons why we cannot and even don't want to do that. So for one, repeaters are expensive. And in Belgium, we have 3 official service providers. So if I don't want to discriminate between my customers, I would have to install 3 repeaters. But I'm not even allowed to install repeaters because legally we're a grocery retailer. We are not registered as a telco, so we are not allowed to broadcast in the frequency of GSM signals. But the main reason, and if there's one thing I want you to remember, the main reason is the following: it's about data. More precisely, who is the owner of the data? If you rely on repeaters, then it's the service provider who is able to capture customer data and is the owner of the data that they're capturing about what I consider my customers or my data. And I might even have to pay my service provider to get to my own data, so to speak. But if I use my own Wi-Fi, then I am the owner of that data. And besides that, I can probably monetize that data to pay for the Wi-Fi infrastructure. We haven't done that yet, but that's actually possible too. The third maturity level, at this point, it becomes interesting. Here is where we provide seamless connectivity for our customers. So this is where we actually implemented OpenRoaming. OpenRoaming is active in our Belgian source since 2019. And what we did is we made an SDK integration between our Wi-Fi infrastructure and our loyalty app. So in fact, what's happening is we are leveraging the terms and conditions and the privacy policy which you accept by installing our loyalty app to also push you a Wi-Fi certificate to your phone. And what's interesting at this point is that we have become this OpenRoaming certificate provider. And that also gives us the choice to either open or close our Wi-Fi to other certificate providers. So for example, those among you with a Samsung phone, you will have an OpenRoaming certificate pre-installed on your phone and pre-activated by Samsung. On an iPhone, you would have to activate it yourself. But from our side, if we choose to leave our OpenRoaming open to all these other certificate providers, it means that we care about seamless connectivity to you as a customer service. But if we choose to close it for all the OpenRoaming certificate providers, and only open it for our Delhaize certificate, it actually is a way that we can leverage OpenRoaming to drive customers to use our app. And also maybe another point in terms of real-time retail, only after OpenRoaming is then deployed. So after you have that seamless connectivity deployed for your customers, it's only at that point you can really start thinking about real-time retail applications. So for example, if you want to enable the customer's phone as a self-scanner to scan themselves the articles, you better be sure that you have good connectivity available. Maybe before I move on, another thing to mention here is we only deployed OpenRoaming after we implemented a true SD-WAN with dual internet and a local breakout. Before, like in my first blocks in this template, we had MPLS. We still had a Wi-Fi customer hotspot there, but we didn't advertise too much for it because we were afraid we might throttle ourselves. So one prerequisite before you go into OpenRoaming is you need to have your internet pipe to have that big enough. And this is so this is the state here. We have OpenRoaming. This is 2019 today. So what I explained before, the enabling of OpenRoaming was in fact phase 1 of our project, where we made that SDK integration between the loyalty app and the Wi-Fi. Now in this 4th phase of our maturity map, it gets even more interesting. So we are making another integration, this time to establish a connection between our Wi-Fi and our backend, Salesforce, where your purchasing behavior is stored. So with this integration, OpenRoaming becomes an enabler, if you like, for true business applications. And by doing that, so we have this presence detection of a customer at the moment that you are walking into the store. So just prior to your shopping trip, And we can actually influence you as a customer with this promotion. To us, this was a game changer, because before we only knew that you were there after your shopping trip, and at when you're basically at the checkout presenting your loyalty card to pay. So, and as a matter of fact, it's really actually possible for you to make you take your phone out of your pocket the moment you walk into the store, by sending you this personalized message. And when you click on it, we can also launch our loyalty app on your phone. So that's what we're at the moment have in a production pilot, what we're testing right now. Moving on, I added in here one slide, which is high-level IoT architecture. And the goal of me adding this slide is in there, it's really to show we really didn't invent anything. So all the blocks were already there. So I'm showing you this just to show you how we map the different building blocks of our project, and to make the point that all these elements are available out of the box. So you have Cisco spaces connecting into via an API, an integration into Azure. We use MuleSoft as an enterprise bus, and we link into Salesforce. And also interesting, we're actually using the signaling of your phone to present the pop-up message. So you don't have to have the app running. Yeah, okay, that's maybe, yeah, that's for this, what I wanted to show. And then looking at the future, this is part of the maturity map. This doesn't talk about OpenRoaming anymore, but basically the fifth phase, excuse me, the fifth phase is what we think as future. I personally think that the holy grail for retailers like us is positioning and wayfinding, and I think that's really just around the corner, also coming. Technology here is ultra wideband. It's not a new technology for those of you that might have a Tesla. It's already in there to open the door, to detect your phone and to open the door. So, but this is our maturity map. OpenRoaming was block 3. The first thing which we built on the capabilities of OpenRoaming is this customer detection and engagement, which is block 4, which was the movie I started showing to you. And then I think I still have one last slide. I'll just build this up completely here. So this I just wanted to show you. It's a picture that represents a business view, how we see a retail store. It's a bit of an outside-in picture. And what I just wanted to show here is that the Wi-Fi infrastructure in the store is not a traditional Wi-Fi anymore. It's becoming a platform. Think of modern Wi-Fi infrastructure like, if you like, a solid base plate of a Lego construction. So similar to Lego blocks relying on a base plate for stability, modern wireless infrastructure and OpenRoaming and everything relies on that base plate. So I call this business layer networking, which sits on top of this regular network stack. And I think, yeah, this is really my last slide. Maybe the last thing to mention is what I notice. We're using Cisco, but it's really with every vendor. The traditional access point from 10 years ago, that just as Wi-Fi is gone. So the trend of access points are becoming, how should I call it, wireless hubs, and Wi-Fi is one of them. But there's so many other wireless technologies inserted in that access points. If you buy new access points today, you have BLE, you've got, in the future, you're going to have ultra wideband, you've got integrations with other things, and that's how we see the future. So the Wi-Fi is basically becoming a platform for enabling so many things besides OpenRoaming as well. And I think that's it for me.
Yeah, fantastic, Rolf. I really love your presentation, your maturity map and roadmap. Yeah, fantastic to see. So let me invite Bart Giordano and Andrea Calcano to join us for this roundtable. We can go by alphabetical order. Andrea, maybe you can introduce yourself and share with the audience why yourself and Cloud4Wi are so keen to get involved on the ECF.
For sure. Thank you, Thiago, for this invite. As Cloud4Wi, I'm the CEO, a co-founder. We are a big believer knowing what ECF is doing and want to reach. It's fantastic what Rolf shared. You know, as company, we really enable many retailers to reach the goal that Rolf is reaching, his vision. But there is a big issues. OpenRoaming, you know, Passpoint is trying to solve. This we are talking about to have a seamless connection. But the other side that we need to consider that probably we are under-evaluating is the security aspect. Because thanks to the OpenRoaming, there is not just the seamless connection, but bring high security to consumer. It's foundationally the basic things that we need to provide to our consumer. And this is, as Cloud4Wi, we believe a lot on what we are doing. I believe that more we are going to connect enterprise with technology, more we are going to see the success of this roadmap.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. Bart, over to you. Please introduce yourself and share your thoughts on the ECF.
You bet. Thank you, Thiago. And thanks to our presenters today and for all of you out there listening. My name is Bart Giordano, and I lead one of 4 CommScope business segments we call Networking, Intelligent Cellular, and Security. And I also serve as general manager for our Ruckus Networks business. And, you know, as a leader in enterprise networking and, you know, longtime investors and innovators in enterprise Wi-Fi technology, our goal has always been to make Wi-Fi more accessible. And as it proliferates around the world and is ubiquitous in our daily lives, our goal is to offer a great connectivity experience that, as Andrea mentioned, is secure. And so our interest in the Enterprise Connectivity Forum is to reduce the friction for Wi-Fi users to onboard to a Wi-Fi network, while also providing value to the businesses that adopt the OpenRoaming technology. And whether you're a retailer, you're a hotel, even a smart city deploying community Wi-Fi, we believe that OpenRoaming will further the adoption and utilization of those networks while providing the business value that you would have seen in some of the presentations today.
Yeah, thank you, Bart. And I want to invite everyone to make questions. So please go to the Q&A chat and post your questions. I already see there are some. But I have a ton of questions. I will somehow start to fire them. Let's go back to Carlos. Carlos, thank you for your presentation. I was really surprised with 0 customer complaints. That was, I don't know if it was a big evolution from your side, or is that complaints are always low, but having 0 definitely is a big achievement.
Yeah, for me as well, because was our first test embedding the SDK in the app. So we haven't tested before in other events. It was the first event. We crossed our fingers to that everything went well, and we achieved it. So for us was a good success to see that, to configure the application, to have SDK embedded in the app, and to make it work. Is really easy. We haven't done it.
I can tell you
because we have a team for that,
yeah.
but I think it's really easy.
My own experience at Fira was absolutely seamless, right? I think we're all accustomed to walking into a new venue somewhere, and you can actually see people do this. You walk into the venue, they get their phone out, and the first thing they want to do is get out on Wi-Fi. And so that was my own experience, and I got my phone out and saw, wow, I'm already on the network. I've been automatically onboarded as I entered the venue, and it was seamless and it was secure, and I enjoyed free connectivity, you know, throughout the week. So that's the experience that we all, you know, have become accustomed to on cellular networks today, right? I mean, we travel freely around the world. and you get off the airplane in some foreign country, and your phone just onboards to the local operator's network. And that really is our goal as we proliferate open roaming, to provide that seamless and secure onboarding experience.
Yeah, Bart, and what is amazing is you can even use your supermarket ID to connect to a location like Fira Barcelona.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
But Carlos, you mentioned something that I really want to ask Rolf. So on your maturity map, you mentioned that move from phase 3 to phase 4. So you guys had open roaming, but then you guys jump into that customer experience. Can you share with us how difficult it was somehow to do that step? Because I think from your presentation, that step is the one that really is raising the value of open roaming for Delhaize.
Exactly. So step one, or step one, it was the third block in my maturity map. The enablement of open roaming is an SDK integration. So SDK integration between we're a Cisco user, so between the Cisco Spaces platform and our loyalty app. Step 4 then is another integration. This is an API integration, again, between the Cisco Spaces platform and then our backend. So you have a little bit more elements in there. So we use Azure, we have MuleSoft as Enterprise Bus, and then eventually in our case it's Salesforce. So it's just that integration. What's amazing with the whole Cisco platform is this is out of the box. This is not inventing things. This is just interfacing existing available elements. And in our case, all these elements were already there and licensed and paid for. It's just making them work together, which brought that new functionality.
Yeah, thank you, Rolf. Let me bring another topic on. If you can, Rolf, if you can share any data points about the click rates on those pop-ups that you guys are using. Anything that you can share with us is...
No, I'm actually not monitoring them closely. The reason being is that in our case, to activate open roaming, it's a manual thing you have to do at the moment. So we foreseen a button, you activate open roaming, and we foreseen a way you can get out of the open roaming again if that's what you want to do because of GDPR rules. What I'm waiting for is a major upgrade of the loyalty app where we by default will enable open roaming, that it's automatically on. And once you get that app upgrade, everybody is automatically on open roaming. And that will give us the big usage actually. At the moment, it's rather limited. Let's say it's more like 10% or so of the potential users.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know, Bart, Andrea, Carlos, feel free just to raise questions. I see already a bunch of questions on the Q&A box.
Wait, Tiago, I believe that it's relevant now what Rolf is sharing because, and also Fira, now where we have two very good use case, they are both mobile app driven. It's clear that as community we are trying to enhance the experience outside the mobile app community because it's very critical. But now we see also ourselves many folks implementation the mobile app. I believe that in the holistic view, it's clear that we need to bring the same experience outside the mobile app because it's very critical for our roadmap as community. And we need to find a way to extend also, I believe it's with the same example role to see how we can onboard also in open roaming user. They don't have the mobile app, they don't believe there, but they have huge benefit to join the program with that mobile app. We are working, I believe there is a lot to do, but as community we need to try to solve because many people they don't want to use the mobile app. This is the reality.
Yeah, maybe we can open up to the Q&A from the audience. I think we can bring into the conversation starting with Mark Grayson. So Mark Grayson is the open roaming leader on WBA work committees. I will ask my team to just bring Mark to the group. And maybe while we do that, let me raise another question to Rolf. Rolf, do you provide different profiles for staff and customers with different SLAs on the Delhaize network?
No, we don't. So it's if whether store associates or customers want to use Wi-Fi, it's the same. It's once you connect to OpenRoaming, everybody is equal.
Okay. Mark, I think you are with us.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, fantastic presentation, guys. Really interesting. My question was maybe to both of you, really, about the challenges, because I guess we're used to Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi connectivity, but now we're linking that to applications. And so my question is what were there any challenges you experienced in trying to align that connectivity offering with the application update cycle, the application development ecosystem? How did these two things come together?
I can have a go at that. I think that on my side, one challenge is that the typical integrators which we use, the technology was too new for them. So the only way to make this work for me was to have the chance to work direct with Cisco. And that I think that was absolutely essential to get this to work.
I can share my experience, Thiago, here, no? Because we spend a lot of investment to develop an SDK that is more for a mobile app developer. Yes, it's true what Rolf is sharing. They expect something that is really compliant. What are the other SDK? It's not matter just not to implement a connectivity piece of SDK, but also to develop an environment that enable them fast to deploy, because it's one key friction. Typically a brand like a large brand, they have like roadmap, they don't deliver more than one per quarter. You know, if you just jump one quarter, the risk that you just delay 1 year the project. Everything as a community, we need to have technology that is matching what is the expectation of the user. In general, when we consider mobile app is not the connectivity the driver. No, I believe that business stakeholder, if they're not on board, they can stop this change inside the mobile app because it's super critical. And we need to try really to deploy technology that's matching 100% their expectation, because it's super critical where we are.
Thanks, Lux.
From my perspective, is very easy because many of the users that download the apps probably they remove it after the event. So what we need to do is obviously keep on. So each of our events has their own app, and we need to embed the SDK in each app. But once the job is done with one application, we can just the code is already done, so it's quite easy to do it for each event. And for us is to offer as much opportunities in the journey experience or the attendee experience in the event through the app. So not only networking, not only knowing the agenda of the event or whatever, it's offer in terms of location, offer more possibilities through the app, and for us is one of our goals in the future.
I agree that the mobile app creates some friction, but event venues and the related apps are a certain classification. I think the other application category are loyalty apps, right? And I think as a business traveler, we all probably have dozens of loyalty apps downloaded on our mobile device. You're tracking your status through the various loyalty programs. You're tracking your free nights and awards. And so OpenRoaming presents the potential to deliver more value to the user, right? Because I think we all appreciate the first thing we do when we walk into a hotel, how do I get on the guest Wi-Fi network, right? Exactly. And with the loyalty app from which all of the major hotel brands obviously have today, making that experience secure and seamless will encourage people to have the app engage in the loyalty program and use it more frequently.
Spot on, Bart.
Yeah, but spot on, especially if you are, I don't know, in countries where there is a language barrier, helps a lot that we just enter and connect.
That's right.
It's super tip.
Yeah, Carlos, just bringing one feature that Rolf presented super well is the user engagement. So maybe something for Fira to consider in the future. So the ability to send some type of messaging or alerts or any type of message to engage the user.
Yeah, that we did in the past through Bluetooth, that possibility. The only thing for us is to get a very high accuracy on the location to offer this kind of push services. So if you are close to one exhibitor, you need to be sure that you are close to this one and not to the other one. And we can sell to these exhibitors the possibility to offer push notifications to all the attendees close to the booth, and also get discounts or get invite you a coffee or drink, whatever. Come by and we'll show you some. So yeah, it's really interesting for us to open these doors and try to explore this. But as said, Rolf, in the presentation, we are also exploring other ways to get the location of the attendees. We are also working with ultra wideband, and we are very okay. We see this is a huge potential for us to offer this kind of
Carlos, two things. In terms of push notification, what's special about Cisco Spaces? It's unique. We uniquely identify you. And it's you will get that message. So with Bluetooth, it's just everybody comes close, and then everybody's fed up with you, and they will erase the app immediately because you're bothering them. Yep. So that's the nice thing about that. And the other thing is for localization, Cisco Spaces actually can do this now. There is in the API you can I don't know what the correct term is, but you can call the location. But for us as a retailer, it's not enough that I detect you are in the aisle of the wine. I need to know that you're in front of the Chablis, and I need an accuracy of 20 to 30 centimeters, and that's what the ultra wideband is going to offer.
Yes, we are exploring that as well, Rolf. So yes, we are really interested in that.
Yeah. I can share here because we have many customers. They do. Engagement and real time. It's relevant to what also Rolf was sharing. Because at the end of the day, in many cases, you want to know that customer is dwelling in some area that's you don't need to be super sophisticated, and they want to also know when they leave to match with the performance on revenue performance. I believe that it's fantastic because we are bringing up a deterministic approach. Before it was more like deterministic approach because with captive portal, the customer was you cannot really bring an holistic have impact overall. We see many of our customers have strong impact because there is a volume that is matching expectations, especially in the business team. If you know the volume, you are not going to look 3-4% of their user. It's super critical, the volume. Another thing, Thiago, that I want to share, because we did many step advance on how we can provision profile to captive portal. Is working very well, especially with Android, guys. It's super easy. It's like a mobile app, just one click is done. This is going to help. I believe that we need to try to be holistic on that because technology vendor, they are helping to improve, and now with Android it's something that it's super easy. You don't need to have mobile app. At that point, the power, I believe that we need to underline, because when you have the profile, if you don't have mobile app, we don't care. We have the same power. There is the same power, the same use case. There is any more this distance mobile app, no mobile app, and this is the power of what we are trying to implement in the market. There's no any more dependence.
Correct. And maybe a question to all of you. So both Rolf and Carlos said how important it was to work closely with Cisco, but I think working closely with one player that can drive and help the implementation of OpenRoaming, and as well all these app SDKs and all these capabilities is super important. So I think makes a huge difference.
Well, it's in the name, isn't it? We call it OpenRoaming for a reason. And it's intended to be infrastructure agnostic. You know, every vendor will have different ways of exposing and implementing it through the user interface. Obviously, a lot of the inhibitors we've touched on today have to do with the device ecosystem, right? And you know, as Andrea mentioned, it's very seamless and frictionless in Android to install Profile today. It can be somewhat cumbersome yet on other devices, and so we have to solve that challenge. But at the end of the day, our goal is to build an open ecosystem so that various vendors and devices can seamlessly participate in these networks.
Yeah, Tiago, I believe that what Bart is underlining is the key of the success. If there is dependence on one vendor, there will be no success in the market. And this is why OpenRoaming, no, the name is OpenRoaming, and we see as player that we are an over the top, and we are not Cisco, we are not CommScope, that they have a lot of network. It's clear that the application sometimes very vertical. To have an open ecosystem, you need to play the game all together, not to fit the requirements. It is super critical for successful technology deployment. And it's not just for Wi-Fi, now it's the same for 5G. No, everyone is talking open API network in 5G. It's very critical for the business success of the initiative.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe we are running out of time. Maybe one or two more questions. We are already 2 minutes over the hour. An interesting angle that I really would like to see some work in WBA is about AI for OpenRoaming. So imagine how can we use AI for help, in this case, Delhaize, to have a better understanding of the customer behavior, or even to help Carlos on their analytics to optimize whatever infrastructure that he needs to optimize. So definitely, do you guys see any big progress if AI tools start to get involved on this OpenRoaming framework?
It's impossible to have a technology discussion without bringing up AI today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the applications in AI today applied to enterprise networking are around automating network operation. But I think you've hit on something very important, which is, you know, how do we use these modern data science tools in order to enhance the user experience on the network, right? So obviously, networks generate a tremendous amount of data, and through the OpenRoaming framework, we can leverage AI primitives and modern data science and machine learning in order to not only understand what the user experience is, but also enhance the user experience by augmenting how the network operates in an automated fashion. So I think it will be absolutely critical as we scale the platform and technology. And there's some very practical implications in doing that. You know, I had a negative experience on Wi-Fi on a flight recently, and it was an issue with the infrastructure in the airplane. There was lots of folks grumbling about it on the flight. And as I walked off the flight, I had email from the carrier apologizing for my experience and you know, offering me free travel rewards as compensation. And so being able to understand what the experience of your customers were initially, and then ultimately being able to you know, enhance that experience in real time based on that feedback is a perfect problem for data science and AI.
Yeah.
And as you said, but sorry.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Andrea.
For my side, what Bart is underlying, no, improve the customer experience, it's become more like end-to-end problem, no? This means that we cannot think more on AI system calls. Is another big challenge, you know? Every vendor is trying to implement their own AI ops based on their model. We need to find a way, no, also to build federation of AI model that help to solve end-to-end the problem, because no one has interest or single department. The approach also for roaming, having more holistic view in different network, can help to build the right model organization. And sometimes, there is privacy issues. We need to be clear on that. This new federation, when we talk AI Open Model Federation, it's like no open roaming. You need to solve to be sure that everything is high secure, because there is huge benefit for everyone to share the data points. There is no value. If we don't share, we cannot solve problem large scale. I believe that we can really think how we can federate all this information, bring benefit on AI model to everyone, as for single customer.
That's correct. For my perspective on AI, it's really, really clear a very good use for getting the analytics of the attendees. Once because you got the registration, you got the data from registration, you got the data from also the location, where they go, what they eat, where they've been waiting, where they come from either. So we can know, if we can know where they come from, so how they get to the venue, if they use taxis, a bus, or any other local transport way of getting to the venue, we can improve a lot on that. And thanks to AI, we can get a lot of analytics with that, and help to the attendee, to the customer, to the final customer, to in their global experience in the venue. So thanks to that, I think it's really clear and important. So as much as we can get, the better for the customer in the end. So yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah, we are already 7 minutes past the hour. I just want to say a big thank you. I could not expect a better start for the ECF meetings. So we'll be sharing the content with all of you that are registered on the ECF group. And with this, I just want to give a big thank you, Andrea, Bart, Carlos, Rolf. Big thank you for being part of this session.
Thanks, Thiago.
Looking forward for the next one.
Thank you.
And yeah, please join the group. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Thiago. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.